Yes, another area of our discussion in this critical perspective of audit regulatory framework. Now, we are looking at the vacation, the leaving of office, the making an office vacant. Vacation can actually be in the two forms. Vacation can be on the basis of removal of auditor. Number two, can be on the resignation of an auditor. Remember, we have seen the appointment and the appointment procedures. Who qualifies? Person qualification. Now we are now coming in to the next stage of framework, which is the vacation. Now, in the vacation, there is removal of an auditor. The removal of an auditor before expiry of term of office includes the following procedure. So an auditor can be removed from the office before the tenure or the terms or the tenure is over, before the time is done. Maybe he was there for 1 year, but before the end of 1 year, he can be removed from the office. And under what condition? Ordinance Resolution and Special Notice, Section 419, Subsection 1 and Section 419, Subsection 2 of the Companies Ordinance states clearly how the auditor can be removed from the office. Number 2, on the receipt of such notice, the company shall forthwith send a copy thereof to the auditor proposed to be removed. Section 419, subsection 3 of the Companies Ordinance. Again, if a notice is received that a auditor shall be removed from the office, then section 419, subsection 3 empowers the company to do so. Number 3, C. Notice of the resolution so passed shall be given to the registrar of companies within 15 days, except for private companies. Section 419, subsection 4 of the Companies Ordinance. So the registrar of companies can receive a notice that particular auditor is supposed to forget the office. And that is actually supported in section 419, subsection 4 of the Companies Ordinance. Resignation. So we have seen the removal. And what about resignation? Upon resignation, the auditor must deposit a notice in writing to the registrar office of the company and send within 15 days a copy of notice to the registrar of companies. So again, there is a procedure of resignation. If I am an auditor and I feel I want to resign from my audit duties, then it is my due diligence to write a letter to the registrar office of the company and send it within 15 days, which the registrar of companies should receive this letter and then action shall be undertaken. So those are the procedures of vacation of office. Now, can we look at the rights and duties of auditors? What are the rights of an auditor and what are the duties of an auditor? Rights of an auditor. This is clearly stipulated in section 421 and 423 of Companies Ordinance. An auditor has the following rights so as to carry his or her duty properly. A. Resignation notice. Deposit a resignation notice in writing to the effect at the company's registrar office. A notice shall be effective only when it is signed by the auditors. So this notice will be effective for resignation if the auditor signs it. B. Make representation. Have a statement of circumstances connected with the resignation or the termination prepared by the auditor who retires or is removed, sent to all members, or to have them read out at the general meeting, except that the auditor is using the notice to secure needless publicity for defamatory matter. So again, representation is another critical right. Number 3, resigning auditor may requisition meeting require the director to convene a general meeting for the purpose of receiving and considering such explanation of the circumstances connected with the resignation as he may wish to place before the meeting. Again, an auditor can actually ask for a meeting before resignation, and this meeting will be convened by the director so that the auditor himself can speak before the meeting and explain the reason why he is resigning from audit position. D. And number 4, attend general meeting. Receive all notice and communication of, attend and be heard at the general meeting at which his term of office will otherwise have expired, and is to propose to appoint a new auditor. It is the right of an auditor to attend general meeting and to speak in the general meeting and to explain and to appoint. So an auditor is critical person in the running, management, and the operation of the company. What are the duties of an auditor? It is the duty of resigning auditor, an auditor who retires or is removed, to give the company a statement of circumstances that should be noted by the members or creditors of the company if the person considers that there are circumstances connected with his resignation or termination. So at one point, the auditor can actually resign because there are reasons attached, connected to his resignation or termination. So this should be undertaken with a statement of circumstances. Number B, or number 2, a statement to the effect if the person considered that there are no such circumstances. So that is another duty which should be performed by the auditor. So these are critical components that you have to look at when it comes to the regulatory framework of an auditor. So these are critical components of the regulatory framework of an auditor. Now, when you come down, we need now to look at the roles. What are the roles of an auditor? Which roles are auditor playing? External auditors review financial statements to ensure there are true and fair account of past financial performance and current financial position. As I said, auditing can never be in existence without accounts. The genesis of auditing is accounts. So where there is accounts, there must be auditing. And auditing will just establish whether the recording of financial statements are true and fair. Are they according to the rules and regulations governing the preparation and presentation of financial statements? Now, one role of auditors or external auditors is to protect the interest of shareholders. Interest of shareholders comes first. And person who has been mandated to protect the interest of the shareholders are the auditors. They are actually the whistleblowers. They are the watchdog of the company. Number 2, promote accountability. Accountability is critical in the recording of financial statements. And that's why the auditor comes in and makes sure that there is existence of accountability in the company. The man of integrity, who is the accountant, should make sure that accountability, transparency is accommodated in the company. Crisis management. It is the role of auditors to undertake risk assessment. This will help in watching, in preventing, in improving, in advising the management. Where there are risks, they can avoid. Where there are problems, they can see on how to solve them. So risk crisis management is critical component which is played by auditors. Mitigating risk factors. There are risks which are involved in the running, in the preparation of audits, and it is the work of auditors to mitigate that risk. Finally, maintain the relationship with regulators. We have regulators. We have uh, normally they are called general auditors. So we have a general auditor, the government body, which has been mandated to monitor the flow of financial statement, the compliance of companies. And the Auditor General is now the person who should bring in. So the relationship between the Auditor General and the external auditor creates a relationship between the company and the auditors. So it is very important to have this in mind. Without this, nothing can take shape. So auditors play critical role in the operation of the company. The future of the company is in the hands of auditors. The performance of the company is in the hands of auditors. So auditing is a critical field. May you become integrity. Integrity is one of the audit principle. And this principle requires honesty, transparency, and direction.